This week on Earth Radio, soil-dependent species are at risk of extinction. The Trump administration deals another major blow to science. And an Italian city takes a surprising step away from fossil fuels. I'm your host, Rebekah Hendricks. And first, we're talking about the most ambitious countries fighting the climate crisis. The world's first ever conference on transitioning away from fossil fuels was held in Santa Marta, Colombia. The conference hosted 56 countries that are very dedicated to phasing out fossil fuel use. It's notable that not only was the United States not in attendance, but an invitation wasn't even extended to the Trump administration. This conference comes after an alarming backsliding that could be seen in large global climate conferences. At the 29th UN Climate Change Conference, or COP29, 2 years ago, the host country, Azerbaijan, made the confusing choice to promote fossil fuel use. This was a really strange decision because this same UN conference put out the call to end fossil fuel use just the year prior. This Santa Marta meeting is in direct response to this hesitancy to put in serious efforts to cut back on fossil fuel use. But most importantly, it showed that these nations are prepared to act and implement real changes. In the short conference, many nations presented promising futures. France presented their exit plan that would eliminate the use of fossil fuels in the nation over the next 24 years. One of the biggest questions that always arises in these climate discussions is, who's paying for all this? The conference had some interesting ideas about how to make it equitable and tackle the costs. One of those being that profits from fossil fuels may be able to fund our transition away from them. The new State of the Climate report in Europe shows that 95% of the continent saw above average temperatures last year. Europe is the fastest warming continent in the world. This is a serious concern for millions of people that call the land home. Heat-related illness and deaths are on the rise in Europe. The rate of heat-related death has increased by 30% over the past 2 decades, and scientists have warned that this will only continue to get worse as time goes on. The heat in the continent is also felt in the vast majority of its seas, as they undergo massive marine heat waves. This water problem isn't isolated to the sea, though. European water sources have also been feeling the pressure of rising temperatures. Many areas have been affected by droughts, and water flow has slowed through rivers. The Arctic and the Alps are losing ice as temperatures continue to rise. Fewer frost and ice days threaten the ecosystems that rely on these consistently cold temperatures. The report called on European countries to deliver and even increase their climate mitigation efforts. Creatures that burrow deep beneath Earth's surface are at threat. A new study from the Cambridge University Press shows that 1 in 5 soil-dependent species is at risk of extinction. Soil-dependent species may sound kind of odd at first. Worms or ants might come to mind, but a vast ecosystem actually exists under our feet. Of course, plants rely on soil for their nutrients, fungi sprout out of the ground, and many burrowing animals rely on the soil for protection. Out of the nearly 9,000 species supported by the world's soil, this study found that 20% of them are critically endangered. Many of these species are key to the planet's natural system of managing waste and carbon. Fungi and plants are essential to the process of breaking down decaying organic matter. This keeps our soil rich for agriculture. Biodiversity in our soil is essential for healthy crops and greenery, and if the rate of species loss continues in soil, our plant life could be in serious jeopardy. As if American science didn't have it hard enough, the Trump administration fired all 22 board members of the National Science Foundation without a lick of explanation. Usually, when you're suddenly fired via email on a random Friday with no cause, you'd be shocked. But many former board members were not surprised to be let go. This administration has been gutting science since taking office in 2025. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the Environmental Protection Agency, and many other agencies addressing climate concerns have had their staffing slashed and their missions diluted. This isn't even to mention the extreme cuts in federal funding going towards scientific research that have scientists looking elsewhere to carry out their studies. In Genoa, Italy, you will never see another fossil fuel advertisement again. The city is one of more than 50 worldwide that are no longer displaying fossil fuel ads, and it's actually the second city in Italy to do so after Florence. The Hague in the Netherlands has gone as far as not even displaying ads for services that have high carbon emissions, like cruise ships. The thinking behind this growing movement is that advertising not only encourages consumption, but also normalizes a practice. By limiting our exposure to the promotion of fossil fuels and making renewable energy sources more visible, we may be able to change the narrative on global energy. If you want to learn more about the stories covered in today's episode, check out the articles published on earth.org and linked in the show notes. Earth Radio is produced, edited, scored, and written by Rebekah Hendricks. This week's stories are reported by Martina Egini. Earth.org is supported by listeners and readers like you. Visit our website to donate to our climate coverage. Have a great week.